All right, hello and welcome everyone. Today's session where we're going to be introducing UBC Engineering to you. So we have a great crowd in the audience already, so welcome. So today we're going to talk to you about UBC Engineering and everything you need to know. My name is Franco Fung. I'm one of the student recruitment officers here at UBC's Vancouver campus. And of course, our role here is to help you with any questions you have about studying at UBC Engineering. Now, I'm not alone here. I'm also joined by a few guests with us here today as well. But for now, I'm going to introduce you to my co-host, Marie.
Thanks, Franco. So, hi everyone. I'm Marie Reed. I am the project manager of programs and strategy at the School of Engineering at the UBC Okanagan campus. I'm so happy to be here today to share a little bit about UBC Engineering with you and answer all the questions that you may have about our program. Back to you, Franco.
Awesome. Thanks, Marie. So we have lots of information to share with you today. But first, let's begin by talking about the campus, our land that our campuses stand on today. So both UBC campuses are built on lands that have been home to Indigenous peoples for thousands of years. I would like to acknowledge that the land that UBC has built its Vancouver campus on, the place where we work, learn, connect, and innovate, is on the unceded ancestral and traditional territories of the Musqueam peoples. Our Okanagan campus is situated in the territory of the Syilx Okanagan Nation and their peoples. I would also like to acknowledge that you might be joining us from many different places near and far, and also would like to acknowledge the traditional owners and caretakers of those lands. A few notes before we dive into today's session. A reminder that there are a few functions that can, at the bottom of your screen, that can help you customize your experience with us today. Now, if you are experiencing any audio or video issues, you can adjust these and check them in your audio settings, which can be found at the bottom of the screen. If you still have some issues, let us know and we can try our best to help you troubleshoot. Now, of course, this session is designed for you, so please feel free to submit your questions through the Q&A box below. Now, I ask you to submit your question once, so we have an opportunity to get to it. There's lots of people here in the room with us here, and we want to be able to get to as many questions as possible. You also will have the ability to upvote questions. So if you take a look at the Q&A and you see a question that you also want to ask as well, rather than typing it in again, just give us a quick thumbs up, and that will be a good indicator for us to say, hey, that's a popular question that people want to get answered here today. Another new feature that we have here is relevant links. So a new button that you might find on the bottom of your screen is our resources tab. So in there, throughout the presentation, we will be referencing different web links that can give you more information so you can learn more about that topic. So I also encourage you to take a look at some of those resources in there and click on the links that you're interested in learning more about. Closed captioning is enabled, so you can enable this by clicking on the closed captioning button at the bottom of the screen if that is something that you need. And finally, if you're not able to stay with us for this entire session, the full recording will be shared on our YouTube channel in just a few days. So, everyone ready to go? Let's dive right into it. So let's start by talking about the first question I have for everyone is, what do you think engineers do? Now on the screen, you'll see that our definition here is engineers use their knowledge of math and science to solve problems. Now, ultimately, engineers are creative problem solvers. You're going to use empathy and creativity to consider problems and come up with different solutions from many different angles to make sure that the work meets the needs of everyone involved. Now, some of you might be thinking, right, if engineering is right for you. Hopefully, because you're here in this session, that is something you are considering. Now, what I'd like to share is if you're someone who likes to solve problems, maybe you find yourself taking things apart and finding out how they work and like to be parts of teams working together for a shared purpose, then maybe engineering could be a good fit for you. Now, if you're ready to take your start in this journey, our roadmap website, which is in the resources, will help you chart your path to becoming an engineer. Now, when you go through that website, one of the steps that you'll find out is you actually need to complete a degree program from an accredited university, like UBC. Now, if you do choose to study with us, study engineering with us, you're going to be studying at one of Canada's best engineering schools. Now, of course, it's not just us saying that. Many around the world also agree as well, and you'll see this reflected in many world university rankings. When you look at rankings, if you choose to join us at UBC, of course, you're going to be joining a university which is globally recognized for its excellence in teaching and research, as well as its global impact. World university rankings, such as Times Higher Education, ranks UBC as #2 in Canada and within the top 40 universities in the world. Now, when we look at UBC Engineering specifically, Maclean's, a notable Canadian publication here, ranked UBC Engineering as the #2 engineering program in Canada based on program and research reputation. We're also home to the largest co-op program in Canada, Western Canada, where we have fantastic employer partnerships to set you up for success. Well, of course, we'll talk a little bit more about co-op later on. But overall, to sum up this slide, if you join us at UBC, you're going to be joining one of the top ranked universities in the world. Now at UBC, our engineering program is offered at both our Okanagan campus in Kelowna and our Point Grey campus in Vancouver. Now the choice is entirely up to you. You might choose our Okanagan campus for their close-knit learning community, easy access to nature, and overall sunny weather. Or you might choose our Vancouver campus for the bigger city, diverse amenities, and different activities. It totally doesn't matter which campus that you choose. You're going to get access to the same innovative project-based engineering education, which makes UBC engineering graduates stand out around the world. As a UBC engineering student, you're going to start off in the foundational first year to learn about the courses that are going to build up the foundation of your degree. So you're going to take courses in subjects like engineering design, chemistry, physics, math, and English before continuing into your program and completing your degree at that campus. So you're going to be introduced to the engineering design cycle right away in your first year courses. For example, at the Vancouver campus, this is going to start off in AppSci 100, where you're going to learn how to think like an engineer and what it means to be an engineer. Now, typically, the first group project for this course is a cardboard chair, where you and your teammates are going to be challenged to build a chair using a 4-foot by 4-foot piece of cardboard, and you're not allowed to use any tape or adhesives. So you and your classmates are going to discover and innovate new ways to hold a 250-pound boulder or a person. You're going to be graded on how much weight it can hold, the size of it, how comfortable it is, how portable it is when deconstructed. Now, these projects continue in term 2, where you're going to move into AppSci 101, where you're going to be challenged to design, build, and automate a fully autonomous claw retrieval system. So here's an example of this. This is an example of the claw built by our student staff, Juliana, who also is a current UBC engineering student. She's always very proud to share that her claw, pictured here, won her class's competition. So you and your team are going to be judged by how many different objects it can pick up, how precise it can be, working with other teams to pick up larger objects. Throughout all these experiences, you're going to be able to build your technical skills in design, fabrication, and coding, but also working on your soft skills in teamwork, communication, leadership, which of course are all important skills of engineers. Of course, this is also found on our Okanagan campus. So our Okanagan campus students will go into a course called AppSci 169 to learn more about sustainable engineering design. You'll work on a variety of projects with real-world implications, of course. In fact, many teams have gone on to compete in challenges such as the Engineering Day Hackathon and Aqua Hacking Challenge. In term 2, students will move into AppSci 171, which focuses on engineering drawing and 3D modeling. So this course features an end-of-term design competition, and then the top 30 teams go head-to-head in front of a panel of judges. Just a few months earlier, our students, the design challenge was focused on design solutions for wildfires. And here's a short video of the winning team and their project, Ember Alert.
This is Ember Alert. It's a walking stick thermal probe hybrid. It's made for firefighters who are going into post-wildfires, checking for hotspots in the ground. Hotspots can reignite, so it could be detrimental to post-wildfire. What firefighters are doing right now is that they're using their senses to put their hands into hot smoldering embers to make sure that hotspots aren't there. So what our project does is it provides a tool to check for these temperatures without having to use their hands. And it also provides them with a way to connect a GPS and data collection software all in one.
So as you can see, this is all done in your first year. So overall, our general first year is going to help you learn a lot more about the different programs before making your decision and starting your specialized program in the second year at your campus. Now, at both campuses, students will select their program study at the end of their first year. So what are some of these programs that students can get into? Did you know that UBC Engineering offers 14 different engineering disciplines across both campuses? So you can start learning more about each program through our Explore Your Options page. So that is another link in our resources tab, and should be one of the first links that that are listed there to learn a little bit more about the different programs we have. Starting off at our Okanagan campus, our Okanagan campus has 5 different engineering programs of civil, computer, electrical, manufacturing, and mechanical engineering. So students will choose their program at the end of their foundational first year. I should also note right now, manufacturing isn't taking new students, but is still offered at our Okanagan campus. So one thing that is unique to the Okanagan campus is engineering students are guaranteed placement in their first choice engineering program. So the first year engineering programs are accepting new students, of course, are civil, computer, electrical, and mechanical. So for example, if you're interested in civil engineering, you are going to be guaranteed a seat in civil engineering, for example. Now at the Vancouver campus, we have the 14 engineering disciplines for students to choose from. So in addition to the choices that you saw at the Okanagan campus, we also have a few others for students to choose from. So you'll see things like biomedical engineering, environmental engineering, geological engineering, just to name a few of the different options there. Another difference between the Okanagan and Vancouver campus is, in addition to the choices, the majority of engineering students at Vancouver campus will go through the engineering program placement process to determine their engineering discipline. Now, this is a competitive process, and some programs may have additional requirements, such as an interview or specific course prerequisites as well. Now, overall, students will get much more information about the program placement process and requirements throughout their first year. Now, typically, both campuses will host program fairs and info sessions to help students choose the best fit for them. At the Vancouver campus, we also offer guaranteed placement to select top applicants to one of our 13 undergraduate programs. The exception is engineering physics. Those that are offered guaranteed placement will be notified by email. So make sure after you apply, stay up to date on your communications so you're not missing anything as we go through the process. Now, it doesn't matter what program that you do choose, you're going to have tons of opportunities to customize your degree. So some of our programs offer different concentrations or options, which will allow you to take a set of courses in a specific sub-area. So for example, in mechanical engineering at both campuses, there is an aerospace option available for those students. So if you're someone who's interested in aerospace engineering or looking at things, manufacturing things, anything that can fly, maybe that could be an option for you. Or perhaps you want to pair your studies with a minor or a dual degree option. So here at our Vancouver campus, you'll see some of the minors that are listed available for students. So you have like arts, science, honors math, commerce, entrepreneurship. At Vancouver campus, we also offer a dual degree between arts and engineering. We also offer a pre-biomedical engineering timetable for first year students as well. Now, the PBME program is a modified first year schedule, which will allow students interested in biomedical engineering to take courses that are prerequisites for the second year biomedical engineering program. So it will give these students a solid foundation in the application of engineering in the context of biological systems. Now, if students are interested, if you're interested in maybe pursuing that as well, after you submit your application, usually in the new year, you'll get communication, give you more information about applying to PBME if that is something that you're interested in pursuing. At our Okanagan campus, of course, there's also minors available there too. We have minors in arts, computer science, management. There's also a dual degree, which offers the our bachelor degree in engineering, and paired with a master of management as well. And there's, of course, a lot of other different options that students can also choose within the degrees too. So that's a little bit about the programs and how you can customize it with different options and offerings. Another way to customize the degree, of course, is to explore the world and go on exchange. So there's a couple ways that students can actually partake in this. You can go through UBC's Go Global program, which is offered to all UBC students. Or, and our faculty, we also have a modified Go Global program called the Coordinated International Exchange Program, or CIE for short. Now, CIE is a Go Global program customized for our applied science students. We work with 17 different partner institutions spread across the world in regions of Asia, Australia, and Europe, where you can actually take pre-mapped engineering-related courses at those universities. So maybe you can decide to partake in CIE exchange to Zurich in Switzerland and study at ETH Zurich. You can go to National University of Singapore or University of Melbourne, just to name a few. We've also included a link in the resources tab if you're interested in learning more about going abroad and maybe taking in and experiencing different cultures around the world as part of your degree. Now, co-op is also another fantastic way to get for you to customize your degree, apply your learning. It's also a great way to be able to get paid to learn and gain real life work experience before you graduate. Now, our co-op program provides our students with over 60 months of paid full-time work experience. Doesn't matter which campus you're going to be studying at, all students will have access to the same co-op opportunities on the same job board. Now on the screen, you'll see some of our co-op stats from the past year. Some top employers our students have worked with include companies like Tech Resources, Metro Vancouver, just to name a few. Some students have also worked internationally as part of co-op. And so we've had some students work across 23 different countries, and over 3,000 plus work terms were secured by our students in the past year. Now, participating in co-op is optional. Students who are interested can apply beginning in second year. And of course, the requirements are on our website. The requirements usually are to achieve a minimum 65% when you're a student with us. Another common question sometimes I get when I speak about co-op is, what are some of the jobs that our students can be able to partake in? So on the screen, this is pulled directly from our job board. So you'll see company like positions such as like a game design co-op with EA. Maybe you could be a project coordinator with Lead Core Group. So there's a lot of different variety of careers and positions our students can take on. And students can get access to that if they choose to participate in our co-op program. So that's a little glimpse of what the learning experience could look like for you. Now I'm going to send it over to Marie to discuss the other fun things of what it's like to study engineering at UBC.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Franco. Franco, just before I get started, it looks like I just lost access to be able to do the slides myself. So if you don't mind helping me with that, that would be awesome. Great. So Franco has given you a really nice overview of how you can customize your degree and some of the opportunities for students to be able to do some learning outside of the classroom. So next, I want to share a few more ways that our students can apply their knowledge that they learn in the classes and gain professional development skills throughout their degree. So there's many different opportunities that students can take advantage of. They can connect with industry professionals and alumni through our engineering mentorship program and through industry nights. These programs and events are great ways to build your networking skills, learn more about different industries, and build transferable skills. You can just switch to the slide, Franco, that'd be great. These opportunities are open to engineering students at all year levels. So right from first year, you can actually come and join these different programs. You can meet alumni, you can meet industry, and you can just really learn more about what is a career path in mechanical engineering like, what is a career path in mining engineering like. That will be able to build your knowledge throughout your first year, so you know even what program you want to select at the end of your first year. So really great opportunity there. There's also amazing opportunities to connect with your peers through engineering design teams and clubs. Students tell us all the time that this is a really great way for you to find your community, and it's also a really good way to get hands-on experience, not just technical, but also those transferable skills in leadership, project planning, teamwork. So learning more about those design teams and clubs is a really great thing to do throughout your first year, and there's a lot of fun ways to do that through different fairs and opportunities to meet with these clubs. So to give you a little insight, we have a few slides next that show you some of the clubs that we offer at both campuses. So the first one here is for the Vancouver campus. This is sort of a snapshot of the engineering design teams at the UBC Vancouver campus. These teams do so many different things, from building Formula One style race cars. Some of them build soccer playing robots. We have teams that build and design net zero sustainable buildings, and also some that build and launch rockets and drones. At the Okanagan campus, there are also many design teams, clubs, and affiliated chapters that students can join to expand your network, find your community, and develop expertise in your field of study. You'll see some similarities between these clubs. We have ones that are related to aerospace, so building drones and fixed-wing aircraft. Some are designing and building marine robotics, innovating sustainable solutions for our world, and many, many more. In addition to this, there is hundreds of UBC clubs between both campuses that students can join in areas like dance and music, sports, and there's even an ice cream club. So many fun things for you to join and so many things for you to look into. So, and the great thing is also if there isn't a club or there's a club that you want to create that isn't there yet, you can actually start your own club as well. So lots of great ways to meet other students on campus and within your program. So now that we've talked about our programs, things we can do outside of the classroom, I'm going to talk a little bit about what you need to do to be admitted and go through this application process. So the first thing I'd like to talk with you guys about today is the different pathways that a student could pursue to enter UBC Engineering at either campus. So students can apply to either UBC campuses directly from high school. Students can also choose to start their education at another post-secondary institution. This is a really great option if you want to stay closer to home for your first year, or if you don't quite have the GPA to get into first year engineering. There are a few transfer programs that students can explore, including our engineering transfer programs or our common first year engineering transfer routes. These programs allow students to complete their entire first year of engineering at a partner institution before transferring to UBC. There is also an option to attend a bridge program. So these programs allow students to complete a technology diploma at a partner institution before transferring to UBC. You can learn more about all of these different transfer programs, including the GPA requirements and timeline requirements on our websites. If you're an Indigenous student, UBC Aboriginal admissions policy aims to increase accessibility to Indigenous students. I recommend reviewing our Aboriginal Access Studies program and the UBC Langara Transfer Partnership, as these are additional pathways to study at UBC. Lastly, academically outstanding international students who do not meet the English language admission requirements may still be admissible through the Vantage One program. So today, in the next few slides, we're going to be specifically speaking about admission requirements for students entering directly from high school. But for those of you who are here today who may be considering one of these other admission routes, we do have 2 upcoming admission sessions in early October. We're going to dive a lot deeper into these admission requirements in those sessions. So there is another session that we're going to review all of those details coming up shortly. So high school students should plan to apply in their grade 12 year. We highly encourage students to apply before December 1st, as this is the first round offer deadline, but the final deadline to apply is January 15th. If you're here and you're not in grade 12 yet, that's awesome. The following slides are going to still be very helpful in planning out your high school courses. So next, I'm going to be talking about the specific admission requirements if you're interested in applying to the Bachelor of Applied Science at either UBC campuses. So the next slide is for the Okanagan campus specifically. Applicants will need to review the general UBC requirements first, and these include meeting UBC's English language requirement, as well as students need to graduate from high school, and it is highly recommended to take at least 6 courses at the grade 12 level. The Bachelor of Applied Science degree specific requirements at the Okanagan campus for students from BC are English 12, Pre-Calculus 12, Chemistry 12, and Physics 12 or equivalent. You can check out a full list of requirements within Canada and internationally on the website that you can see here at the bottom of this slide, the u.ubc.ca applying UBC requirements. And that will break that out for whatever region you're joining us from today. So from the Vancouver campus, the admission requirements are very similar. However, there is an additional general requirement to meet a minimum of 70% in grade 11 or grade 12 English. The degree-specific requirements, though, for a Bachelor of Applied Science are the same at the Vancouver campus as the Okanagan campus. This slide, as you can see here, details the grade 11 and grade 12 degree-specific courses that we reviewed earlier. If you're located outside of British Columbia, Alberta, or Ontario, please feel free to review the more additional information to your region on the website. So what it is important to note is that degree-specific requirements are like a checklist that will need to be completed by the end of your grade 12 year. So you do not need to have all of these completed before you apply. You just need to make sure you have them completed before you finish grade 12. So the next question we typically receive is, how is my application assessed by UBC? So admissions is based on a combination of the personal profile and the academic profile. So there's no specific grade that will ensure that you get in. Spending time on your personal profile and doing well in all of your grade 11 and grade 12 courses will help you be the most competitive that you can be for admission. Your personal profile will consist of your short essay questions on the application and will give you a chance to highlight experiences you have had outside of the classroom. It should be more focused on reflection and what you've learned than the number of experiences you've had. And this is really where we get to know you. Your academic profile will look at both your overall and core academic assessment. These will consider all grade 11 and grade 12 academic courses, regardless of which year you took them. A focus will be on the grade 12 level courses if they are available at the time of assessment. The core courses will include all the degree-specific courses you saw on the last slides, but will also include any other academic courses that fall into the categories of language arts, mathematics, and computation and sciences. So now I want to talk a little bit about scholarships. So there are many different scholarships and awards offered at UBC. This slide outlines some of the major awards for both domestic and international students. What I like to note here is there are different deadline and application requirements for many of these awards and scholarships. We recommend that you review each award to ensure that you submit your application by the required deadlines. Just as one example, the International Scholars Program, applicants are required to also have a nominator. So applications to this program need to be submitted by November 15th, and students must apply to UBC by the December 1st deadline. The reason why I bring up this one as an example is because there are multiple deadlines between now and November 15th, as well as that December 1st deadline for your final application to UBC. So you want to make sure you review all of these different scholarships and awards so you have the time to be able to submit the application and complete everything that it was required for that application. In addition to this, there are several other scholarships that are shown on this slide that require students to actually apply to UBC by that December 1st deadline. So just make sure you review all those requirements so you know if you have those additional requirements to be eligible for the award. We also encourage you to apply to external scholarships. So great keywords to search are engineering, STEM, tech, or for female identifying students, you can search women in engineering or women in STEM. So now I want to talk about some of the upcoming events that we have this fall. Like I mentioned earlier, if you have lots of specific questions about admissions and the application process, please join us for our Applying to UBC Engineering session that we're hosting on October 1st and 2nd. These are the same identical session. We just have two different time and date options to make it more accessible for everyone who would like to join. We also have a co-op information session and a parents and supporters information night coming up later in October. In November at the UBC Okanagan campus, we have our on-campus open house. This is in Kelowna, British Columbia, and you'll be able to come to the engineering building, meet with faculty and students, explore some of our labs, as well as meet a lot of our design teams and clubs. In November, we also are hosting our virtual program fair, which will have program booths for all of our engineering programs at both campuses. And this is a really great way for you to learn more about the engineering programs offered at UBC. So registration for these events and more info about all of the upcoming events can be found on our events page. And there's actually a link that is shared in the resources tab. So if you want to look in there at the bottom of the screen, you can actually find a direct link to our event webpage. So life is pretty good in this moment, but engineers work every day to make our lives better than what they are right now. So I want to share some examples of our alumni who are really making an impact in the world right now. The first person I want to talk a little bit about is Matt. Matt graduated in 2023 from civil engineering, and during his undergraduate degree, Matt participated in co-op and worked with PCL construction in both Vancouver and Kelowna. During his co-op experience, he found that he was really interested in water and wastewater, specifically designing water treatment processes. And he really does indicate that this co-op experience allowed him to be exposed to this area and really find his passion here. Since graduating, he's been working for Corallo, a consulting engineering firm that focuses solely on designing and building water and wastewater treatment facilities. Matt is now the regional reuse lead for our Canadian market, which involves promoting water reuse to our Canadian clients. Matt's advice to incoming students is, I went through school with the model that everyone who graduates from an engineering program will have the same piece of paper. When you're looking for a career, a degree and a GPA is not what makes you unique. What makes you stand out is your work experience and the activities you've been involved in outside of the classroom. UBC provides incredible opportunities and it's up to you to go after them. So that's a little bit about Matt and his experience, sharing a little bit about co-op. The next person I want to share a little bit of their experience and what they're doing now is Vivian. So Vivian graduated from integrated engineering in 2020. After graduating, she was part of Meta's Oculus team, working as an electrical design engineer on Meta's first set of AR glasses. She then worked for Doctors Without Borders, serving as a critical facilities manager for a 60-bed trauma hospital in Central African Republic. During her time at UBC, she was part of the UBC Formula Electric design team, completed an exchange term in Greenland through the Technical University of Denmark, and completed work terms with Microsoft, Mercedes-Benz, and in Bangladesh, working as a power electronics engineer for a local company. Vivian is currently working as an electrical engineer at BC Hydro. So you can really see here how both of these alum were able to integrate a lot of those experiences beyond the classroom into their degree to give them that extra hands-on experience, the extra transferable skills to allow them to move into industry and get into areas that they're really passionate about. But now we have some more guests with us here today. We actually have two current students in engineering, one from the Vancouver campus and one from the Okanagan campus, who are here to share a little bit about their experience. So I would like to pass it over to Arshisha first to share a little bit about herself.
Sure. Thank you so much, Mary. So to start with, hi everyone. My name is Archisha, and I am in my fourth year of Bachelor's of Applied Science program in Civil Engineering here at UBC Okanagan. I joined in January 2023, and what drew me here was honestly a mix of academics and the lifestyle. Coming from a smaller city, Kelowna felt like the perfect fit. It has both the mountains, lakes, and the community that I would always dream of. Back home, I would travel hours just to see mountains, and now they're literally right outside my window. The reason I chose UBC is the close knit environment. As the new immigrant, I knew I would feel more supported in a smaller, welcoming campus community that has made all the difference for me, both academically and personally. When I first arrived, it was definitely a roller coaster, adjusting to a new place and culture. But joining clubs on campus and to meet some supportive professors was a turning point. It gave me confidence and the feeling that I really had something valuable to contribute. From there, I got a chance to work on research with Dr. Fatmi in a transport engineering lab. And later, I landed a co op, which was a huge step for me in connecting classroom knowledge with real world work. All of these opportunities really surprised me how, even at young age, I could contribute meaningfully as a junior engineer while still studying at the university. And of course, the best part of the student life here has to be the little things like late night study sessions with my friends. And then after attending all the classes, ending up in the Thames line or just sitting in the courtyard to chit chat about the day. So those moments really made me feel at home and showed me how strong the sense of community is at UBCO. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for sharing. It's really nice to get to know a little bit about you and give everyone here a little bit more information so they can start adding their questions into that Q&A. Before we get to that Q&A, I want to pass it over to Avery next. Avery, could you tell us a little bit about yourself and why you chose UBC Engineering?
All right. Franco, would you be able to switch the slide to the next slide if that would be possible? Thank you very much. Hi, everyone. My name is Avery Chang. I'm in my 4th year of electrical engineering at the University of British Columbia in Vancouver. Currently, I'm working a 12-month co-op in Ontario right now at Ontario Power Generation. And yeah, as seen on screen right now, outside of school, I like to play badminton. I like to make online content about engineering, and then also some swimming as well.
Perfect. So would you mind telling us why you chose UBC Engineering?
So I chose UBC Engineering because of the opportunities that it offered. So being in Ontario right now, I've been talking to a lot of students that are in Ontario schools and outside of British Columbia. And I've noticed that compared to those schools, UBC Engineering has, first of all, a very high density of smart and well-rounded students, along with many well-funded opportunities as Franco and Mary mentioned before, clubs, engineering design teams, and multiple research opportunities. So that's what really drew me to UBC Engineering.
Awesome. So building off of that, can you maybe share some of your favorite experiences as a student?
All right. Well, there are quite a lot of experiences that I could talk about, but I'll mention one from each of the years that I've been here so far. So in first year, as Franco alluded to before, one of my favorite moments was the very first project that we worked on in UBC Engineering, which was building the cardboard chair, which was a super fun project and was a great way to bond with my teammates. And in second year, I would say one of my favorite experiences was joining an engineering design team for the first time and actually starting to apply the things that I've learned in my classes into real world projects, which was super fun. And in third year, probably my favorite experience in third year was participating in E-Week for the first time, which was a week-long interdepartmental competition among the engineers at UBC between each of the programs. And it had lots of competitions, events, it was super fun, and lots of free food as well. So yeah, and in general, just being able to meet and hang out with so many amazing new people and making tons of great friends along the way. Those are some of my favorite experiences from being a UBC engineering student so far.
That's so great. It's so nice to hear what each student's favorite thing is because it's always different and you give a really nice snapshot to how that sort of built throughout your degree so far. The last question for you right now is, could you share something that surprised you when you joined the program?
So when I first got into UBC engineering and when I first started my first year, there were 3 things that I definitely really surprised about that I needed to develop or at least develop my tolerance for when I first got in. And those 3 things were teamwork, getting comfortable with failure, and then also regulating myself as well. So first of all, there are a lot of projects that you'll be working on throughout the year or throughout your degree actually with either partners or groups. And you do need to learn to work well with groups and be a good teammate in order for the project to go well. For example, with the cardboard share project, you're working with 4 or 5 other people. And yeah, that's just a great, you do really need to learn how to work well with them in order to get your chair to, well, be able to support a human body on it. And I'm sure that a lot of the prospective students that are in this call right now are used to getting really high averages in high school. And while some of those students may maintain that high average going into first year, I will say that the majority of students will inevitably get lower marks than they would have expected from high school. So being able to be comfortable with maybe not doing as well as you hoped, learning from it, and then bouncing back from that is definitely a very important skill to have as an engineering student.
That's great. Thank you so much. And you really integrated some nice advice in there as well from things you've learned throughout, from what surprised you. So I appreciate that. And so we're going to hold off on any other questions that are prepared right now, and it's time for us to move into the Q&A portion of the event, the time that everyone here has been waiting for, where we can read out some of their questions and answer some of the things you're hoping to hear about. So I'm going to iterate this again, but I can see lots of you are already doing it. Please feel free to submit your questions through the Q&A box. We ask you to just submit your question once so we have the opportunity to get to as many as possible. We do have hundreds of people who are joining us here today, so also please upvote questions. So the questions that you would like answered the most move up to the top of the list. So I'm going to invite Franco. Oh, there we go. Franco's back on. Yay. And Franco and I are going to open up this Q&A and start going through the questions here. Franco, I have a question here for you. Will not taking AP courses hurt your chances of being admitted or entering UBC?
So short answer to that is no. As Murray had talked about, there's a couple things that UBC will look at, like when taking a look at your application, right? Grades are important, but also looking at what you've accomplished outside of the classroom will also factor into the admission decision as well. So short answer, no, it won't. We also recognize that not everyone has access to AP courses from around the world as well. So no, so not taking an AP course does not automatically disqualify you. I've seen that question also in the Q&A too. So short answer is no, it won't affect that.
Perfect. So another question that goes along with this is I'm not sure exactly what the person, if they're referring to admitted into the program or admitted into your specialization at the end of first year, but is how do I increase my chances of getting sorry, just shifted 1 second, of getting a spot into one of the programs. So I'm assuming this about getting into like selecting your program at the end of first year. There's a similar question, Franco, of what percentage of students get their first choice specialty at the Vancouver campus? So maybe we can
I don't,
answer those
yeah.
together.
Yeah, for sure. We can talk a little bit more about the engineering program placement process at the Vancouver campus. So typically this is a process that happens near the end of first year. So students at the Vancouver campus will be asked to fill out the engineering program placement form. And that is where students will let the faculty know what programs you want to get into. So you'll be asked to rank the programs on the form, and students also have to submit a 500-word statement as well, speaking to why they want to go into, why their top choice is their top choice. So usually students will need to submit that form by May 15th, so in mid-May. May 15th was the date this year. So around mid-May, students have to submit their form. And then usually by the end of June, they will be notified of what their program placement will look like. So that will be in time for you to be able to select courses for second year. Now, I don't have the exact percentage on hand right now to tell you how many students get exactly into their first choice. But what we can do is I can share a link that details the engineering program placement process a little bit more for you, the timelines, is required for each of the specializations. That will give you more information about the process itself. And also in there, in one of the tabs, it will also talk to you, share with you what the historical sessional average has been to get into each specific discipline as well. So that probably will give you a little bit more information about what that process looks like. So I can drop that in the chat. Oh, amazing. Thanks, Erin. Erin's on the back end here helping us answer some questions. And she has also added that to the resources as well. So you can find out more information there.
Thank you so much, Franco. I do have a question here for Arshisha and Avery. There's a question here about balancing workload with your personal life, hanging out with friends. They're wondering, like, do you have any tips? How are you balancing the engineering workload with having some free time?
I guess I could provide some insight on this first. So balancing, yeah, that's a really big question, something that everyone does worry about. But one thing that I would recommend is kind of combining it together. So like if you're trying to balance like studying and also spending time with friends as well. Maybe try combining the two, study with your friends so that you kind of get the best of both worlds. You enjoy being with your friends, but you're also being productive while studying as well. And also just managing your time so that you prioritize yourself, like your well-being matters in engineering. You don't want to just be studying all the time. You do want to have the time to prioritize yourself, prioritize what stuff that you want to do so that you are well enough that you can study so that you can study well enough. So kind of like that.
Yeah, I can also add up on something what Avery said. So I myself took like 6 courses all the time every semester, and it's really fun, I would say, and it's really like important to manage everything. So like the way I used to like manage my time with my courses and stuff, and like how to keep it balanced. So I used to like after going to classes and then in the evenings I used to spend time like go to the gym along with my friends. So I found like a gym buddy where could I actually exercise, and then obviously like attending classes and then doing exercise in a day is really important. So I would like manage my schedule. I had like discipline schedule, like how to manage all the things. So this way I used to spend time with my friends as well as attend all the classes. So I used to feel energized as well. So yeah.
That is great. Thank you so much for sharing some of those tips related to workload. And we find this is also something that within your first year, you're transitioning university, you're figuring out what works for you, time management, and that balance is something that is really something that is learned throughout that first term and first year. So give yourself some grace. We have a lot of great supports on campus too to help students while they're transitioning, getting used to that university workload, potentially moving away from home, things like learning strategists and different tutoring sessions. Both our students here today share to rely on your friend group, study together, create those study partners to be able to help have some time with your friends, but also continue to get that work moving forward. So Franco, I don't know if you have another question lined up here. I'm just looking back in the
Yeah.
Q&A now.
Yeah, I can hop in really quick. Like right now, I see the
Perfect.
most upvoted question is a question around AI. So the question, of course, is talking a little bit about, of course, the rise of AI. It's very prominent, especially software engineering. I guess it's how is UBC addressing that or plan to address that as well? Now, as someone who's not in the industry, I won't be able to give you my personal insights into it, but what I can tell you is definitely AI and machine learning is something that there's a lot of research going on, not just in our own faculty of applied science, but across like the faculty of science, our department of computer science, mathematics. So we do have a lot of prominent researchers doing a lot of great work in that space. What I could share really quickly is there is a machine learning kind of page that's related to UBC that I can share with you. So you can look at a little bit, learn a little bit more about the different research interests in that area, which some of our faculty are currently engaged in right now. So I can drop that in the chat.
Perfect. Thanks so much, Franco. I was just doing a scan and there's a few questions here about, is it possible to change faculties after you've enrolled? Is it possible to transfer between campuses? So I thought it might be good just to talk about transfer internally at UBC a little bit. So if you arrive on campus and you realize that you want to transfer to a different faculty, there is a way for students to apply to transfer to a different program within their same campus or to apply to transfer to a different program at another campus. So for example, if you're at the Vancouver campus in sciences and you want to transfer into engineering, there is a way for you to apply to transfer Within the campus, you could also say be in Vancouver Applied Science and apply to transfer to the Okanagan campus. What I would like to say though is transfer is very competitive. So students are usually the applications, if you're transferring between programs, open up sometime in January for the following year. It is a very competitive program and is not guaranteed. So we do recommend that students try to start in the program that they do want to be in if they can. However, throughout your first year, you can come and see academic advisors and they can really walk through that process with you if you figure out that you do want to transfer between programs. For students that are interested in transferring within engineering across campuses, so say you're at the Okanagan campus and you're interested in transferring to the Vancouver campus after your first year, we do have a great process for that. It's through our engineering program placement form. So if you're taking all 12 courses in first year at the Okanagan campus, you can use that program placement form to rank that you would like to be placed into a Vancouver program. So you can rank all 14 of those Vancouver programs. You can put the Okanagan programs in there as well. But it is also competitive to transfer. There's only about 10 to 15 students that are able to transfer between the campuses each year. And it is sort of a two-step process. You apply to transfer through that program placement form. If you are accepted to transfer, then your program that you have selected is looked at and you'll be assessed to see if you were able to get into your first choice, second choice, third choice program as listed on that program placement form. So like I said, it is something that is definitely possible. We have a lot of great academic advisors who can help you with that throughout your first year if that is something that comes up for you. But we do recommend you start at the campus you would like to finish at if that's possible. And if you can, of course, in the program that you're hoping to finish with. Franco, is there anything that I forgot related to that internal
No,
UBC transfer?
no,
Okay.
that was a very comprehensive answer. So thank you for sharing all of that.
Perfect.
So hopefully that helps answer that question, but um, transferring to engineering. So let's look at the next question that we have here. Another question that I've seen in the Q&A as well is, can students apply to both campuses? And the answer is yes. So if you're interested in just you're dead set on coming to UBC Engineering at either campus. When you apply through Education Planner BC, you are going to be able to pick two programs. So if you are interested, you can select one choice, UBC Okanagan Engineering, and another choice, UBC Vancouver Engineering as well. So you can apply to both with one application. Of course, we do always recommend when you are sequencing your choices, make sure you pick the campus that you intend to, that you prefer as your first choice, and then the other one as your second choice, because that will be always considered.
Perfect. I see there's another question here about, is there ways that we can connect with UBC students and explore the programs while still in high school? It's a great question. We have many ways that you can connect with UBC engineering students. You can attend these events. We usually have engineering students at these events. We also have a chat with a student platform where you can actually, it's an online platform where we have engineering students, current students from both the Okanagan and Vancouver campuses on there. You can chat with them, ask any student experience questions you have. We also have a few alumni on there as well. So if you want to learn about that whole degree experience and how they transition to industry, there's alumni from both campuses. In addition to that, we have the on-campus open house at the Okanagan campus in Kelowna. Great way to connect with current students if you're in that area. And to learn a little bit more about our programs, I highly recommend you attend the virtual program fair we have coming up near mid-November. That is really a great opportunity for you to come chat with faculty from each of those programs and just learn more about each individual program at the Vancouver and Okanagan campuses.
Awesome, thanks, Marie. Going back to our Q&A box over here. Before I get into the next question, just a quick reminder. So we've shared a lot of great resources and links in our resources tab. But one note, once we shut down this webinar, those tabs will go away. So if there are any websites that you want to save or bookmark, I encourage you to do that now, just so you don't miss those websites later on. Okay, going back to the Q&A, I see that there right now the top most upvoted question is regarding realistic percentage average grades to get into UBC Engineering from grade 11 or 12. Very similar to how I answered a question similar to that before. Is grades, of course, are just one thing that UBC admissions will take a look at when assessing a student's application. So grades and also your personal profile, those are all factored in, right? And so what I always tell students is do as best as you can, right? Get the highest grades that you can, and also be able to put your full effort into talking about what you do outside your classroom. That is what's ultimately going to help increase your chances of hearing back from UBC. I would also encourage you, as Marie had mentioned earlier, we do also are hosting 2 other sessions applying to UBC Engineering on October 1st and 2nd as well. So if you want to learn a little bit more about what the application process looks like, I encourage you to join us for those sessions in 2 weeks.
Awesome. I have another question here for Avery and Arkisha. The question is, how much of the program work is group-based versus individual? So maybe if you could share a little bit about some of your project work.
So I can start with my, or at least for UBC Vancouver. So just a heads up, like I'm in electrical engineering. So with electrical engineering, a lot of the projects are like the bigger projects where we make robots and stuff like that, or we make robots, or like, for example, we made a reflow oven controller. Those bigger projects are generally done in groups. However, there are many classes where we have many labs that we do, and those are generally done either individually or with a partner. So that's for electrical engineering.
Yes, yeah, as Every said, it's the same in UBC Okanagan as well. So we do have like so many group projects in first year. So I mean, it depends to professor and professor how they actually design the curriculum for the course. So yeah, obviously we have some percentage of the course for group projects, and where we actually build robots, like starting from scratch, bringing up the ideas, and then actually making everything in the groups, and then we present in front of other professors. It's kind of an event where we present. So it was a course which I took. It was a CAD course where we made kind of a kind of a robot out of SolidWorks. So it was really fun event. And moreover, yeah, in like second year, we do have group projects, which are really fun. So yeah, we do have group projects. And then individual activities are mostly in labs where you do the experiments and stuff in a group of 2 or maybe individually. So depends. Yeah.
Thank you so much. So hopefully that gives you a little bit of a snapshot that it's like a mix of group work and individual work, but lots of hands-on teamwork involved in engineering. So lots of great opportunities to work with other students in many different classes. I see the next question here is, if we apply to both Okanagan campus and Vancouver campus, will it decrease our chances to get into the Vancouver campus, or will they be considered equally? The short answer here is they are considered equally. So if you apply to both, it doesn't deter from getting into one or the other. What you need to do is make sure that you put your preferred campus location as your choice one in your application. So for example, if you wanted to do the Bachelor of Applied Science at the Vancouver campus, you would select that program and campus as choice 1. And then if you want to be considered for the Bachelor of Applied Science at the Okanagan campus, if you do not get into the Vancouver campus, then you would put that as choice 2. Your choice 1 selection in your application is always assessed first by UBC. So you want to make sure you put your first choice campus and program under choice 1. Okay, Franco, I know we're coming up to time, so I thought maybe we ask Avery and Arkisha if they could share any advice they have for prospective students who are interested in UBC engineering.
All right, I can give my comments first. So I really have 3 tips for everyone for all prospective students. If once if or if you do get into UBC engineering, first thing I would say, talk to people. Okay, it's really easy to get to know people in UBC engineering since in first year, you're all taking the same courses, so there's plenty to talk about with anyone really. So soon enough, you'll find your group of friends or community that will support you through thick and thin, and those friends can last throughout your whole degree or even for your lifetime. So yeah, just talk to people. Second thing, learn to manage your time well. I'm not just talking about like studying, I'm talking about your life as a whole. So remember to keep a balance of your studying and also keeping time for yourself, and also time with your friends, family, and those you care about. And then the last tip that I have is if you do get in, try to make as many memories as you can. However long you're in UBC engineering for, it's gonna be quite a while, between 4 to 6 or maybe even 7 or 8 years, but it'll also fly by in an instant like that when you look back on it. Certainly has for me. So take the time once you're in to enjoy your experience in UBC engineering and make moments that you will remember for a lifetime. So that's what I have to say.
Yeah, and I would like to add here, every said the exact, really, really great points. I would also say talk to as many people as you can, uh, know about their experiences, and then attend all the career fairs, all the events that we have on campus. Use the resources. There are so many resources and they're so helpful. So you need to choose like which one is the best for you. So be like, there are so many resources which you can use and they'll be helpful for you. Talk to your professors. They're so supportive, and then they'll tell you the right path. And moreover, attend the events what we have on campus. We have career fairs. We have like different coming up companies coming up, and then you can talk to them. And moreover, there are so many research opportunities. So always be in touch with your professors, and obviously manage your time. And the last piece of advice I would like to give is that always appreciate others, even for the smallest things. And a simple word of encouragement or acknowledgement that can go a long way in building strong relationships and creating a positive environment. As engineering is a team effort, and showing appreciation helps motivate people around you, while also reminding you to stay humble and grateful. So yeah, thank you so much, everyone. So these are the advices what I have for you.
Amazing. Thank you both for sharing those great tips. Hopefully our students will be able to take advantage of some of them as they go through this process. Wow, this hour has completely flown by. We still have a lot of questions. Unfortunately, won't be able to get to all of these questions today. But on our screen right now, you will see a couple more additional online resources, contact emails. So if you do want to ask us a question, please feel free to contact us at either outreach@apsc.ubc.ca for the Vancouver campus, or engineering.okanagan@ubc.ca for the Okanagan campus. We'll be happy to help you with your question over there. Another final reminder as well. I saw there was a question in there asking if you click on a link, will you get signed out of Zoom? No, those resource links are there for you to click on. Again, make sure you do find the links that you want to keep, bookmark them so you can reference them later on as well. But all in all, we'll have much more opportunities to connect with you in the coming months. You can, again, visit our engineering events website for more information about upcoming events, and I encourage you to sign up for those to learn more about UBC engineering. So those are all the final notes that I have. Marie, anything else you want to share before we wrap up?
I just want to bring like a little bit of a highlight. I think one of those
Yeah.
resources is a post-event survey. So if you want to
Oh,
tell us,
yes.
give us your feedback on today, anything that you wish we had told you about, or anything that you loved about the session today, that's what that survey is there for. I believe it's called Let Us Know How We Did. So that should be the resource on there. So please feel free to click that. It should also show up when we end the call today, but we would really appreciate your feedback. Really helps us tailor in our presentation. So we're sharing all the information that you all want and need.
Awesome. Thanks, Marie. Well, for one last time, thank you again for joining us here today, everyone. Hope you were able to get some of your questions answered here today about UBC Engineering. And as always, let us know if you have any questions by contacting us or connecting with us at a future event in the future. Thanks, everyone. Take care, and we hope to see you on campus soon.
Thank you all.